Okay, we're going to get started on WordPress today. As a student, you should have received an email that would allow you to post to your blog, and we will walk you through the process of getting access to that after, or accessing all of the options within the blog once you have authenticated. So you will click that and it will give you process through. It will give you a generic password, which we're going to change right now. So once you have logged in, you will get this black bar at the top of the screen, and at the top you will get a howdy and it'll say your username. So if I click on that, I can go in and I can hit edit my profile. So it'll get you to this screen. The key here is that it will give you a username, so it will allow you to see what your username is. But as a student, you do have the option to be anonymous, since this might be a public blog, and so you can put in a nickname. So I put in my initials, something so that your professor knows who you are when you're posting, but otherwise it's not publicly available who you are, so no one can tell. So on my site, I get a couple more things than you do, but the key that we're going to be focusing on is the posts area here. So we are on the dashboard, which is where we do all of our editing, all of our posting, and then the front is, if I mouse up here, there is it says what the name of the courses I'm in currently, and I can visit the site. So a lot of times what I do is I actually have it so it's in a new tab, so I can kind of toggle between, see what it looks like on the front page, and then come back to the edit screen. So at this point, I'm going to go to posts, and I'm going to go to all posts. It's going to tell me to leave because I didn't make any adjustments. All right, so this will list all the different posts that anyone has made, including your own. Now at this point, it only has one generic post that has been put in here, but it says who the author is. It says if anything was categorized, we'll go into that. Any tags, any comments, and exactly when it was posted. If I mouse over this, I do get some options. Now, I am an administrator, so I get this on all of my posts, but you would only get these on your own. You cannot delete someone else's posts. You cannot edit someone else's posts, so no worries there. If I click Quick Edit, it does give me a couple things. Say I made a grammatical error in my title, I could change that right there. If I forgot to categorize it, so there would possibly be categories for your particular class, so that would be there. Or if I just wanted to post a tag, that's not a good tag, but say it was about trees. So I wanted to put a post about trees and streams and things like that. So the categories are going to be ones that your professor has outlined in advance. These are generally large concepts that relate to your course theme and project and what you're actually posting about. And then the tags would be more free form. So if in a bio class, maybe this is one of the categories would be nature. And under the tags, it might be trees and streams and birds and, you know, the specific types of nature that you are posting about. So that's where the difference is. It does allow you to change if something was published, take it back to a draft in case you made that mistake. And then you would just hit update. And so I could update that. So now it just says hello. But the main thing that we're going to be doing here is we're going to be adding new posts. So I'm going to click add new here. Also, just so you know, at the top bar here, you can always click this plus new and it'll give you all the different new options. The key one is most likely posts. Some classes might be using pages. The only difference, it looks exactly the same. The only difference is that posts are time and date stamped and use those categories and tags options. Pages are pretty much just static web pages that no time, date, or categorization applies to. So we're going to go to add a new post. Gives you a standard editing form, so we'll give you a title, and then it will give you your preview screen here on what it's going to look like. In the upper right hand corner of that is the visual, so that's the preview that's going to make it look exactly as it's going to post. The text is the HTML side, so we don't want that. So at this point, this is your main editing toolbar, which seems similar to a lot of other ones. One of the keys here is this button that is filled with buttons, so it's a toolbar toggle, and what that does is it removes some options, and so as I go back and forth, it will adjust and show additional options. So some of the key ones, really important ones, are hidden otherwise, undo, redo, some other formatting. So if you're missing some of your options, just click on that. I can type text And then I can come in and I can do a couple different things. I could type text in here. I could go to a Word document or somewhere else. So for instance, today I'm just going to go and I'm going to copy some text from a website. I'm going to come back. Can paste all of that in there. So again, you can go and you can be typing and writing out your entire content elsewhere, and then just copy that in through copy and paste. In Add Media, we have a location where all of the images would be stored, and so in here you will be able to see everyone else's posts or images. And we will be able to either use them. So for instance, if everyone was going to be using the same image for a logo or such, you wouldn't have to upload it again and again and again. You could just click on one thing and use it. I can hit upload files, and I could, let's see here, I'm going to drag in a picture of some cookies here. So I have now 2 items in here. If I click on each one, it'll give me information on the side, and I could pull them into the post. A couple things. There's a section that says alt text. It's important that you put something in here. So cookie. Alt text is for readers for disability, so anyone that is blind and has a text reader, so it's literally reading what is on the page to the viewer. It would say there's a picture of a cookie, and so you don't have to be super descriptive, but just something that gives the reader an idea of what the picture is of. So in this case, I'm going to put cookie. I can put in a caption. Put in snickerdoodle recipe, and then as I scroll down, a couple quick things. We have alignment, so we have display settings. So alignment is when you're looking at a newspaper, you have a picture on the right and the text wraps around it, so it's text wrapping essentially. So you have a couple of different options. You can choose one and you can change it later. In the size, WordPress will attempt to choose the best size for this particular post, so it's evaluating what the size of the original is. In this case, it's 1024 by 796, which is rather large. So it creates various sizes, and so in this case, it's saying, hey, I think the medium size is probably the best for your post. So we usually want to default to that. I can click Insert Post here, and it would insert that picture directly. I could choose the other option as well, but once I have that information in, it will save all that information so I could use it again. So in this case, I'm going to say insert into post, and here I have 2 different pictures that I have inserted into my post. What I can do is I can also move it around. So for instance, if I wanted to put it before this paragraph, you can kind of see where my cursor goes. I can drop it, and then because I had it right aligned, it would move that. The same way as this one, if I click on it and then, let me grab it, move it up here, now it will align next to that particular picture, or next to that particular text. And larger text would wrap a little bit more around the image itself. A couple other things in Add Media, you can create a gallery, so I could also create something that both of these pictures are in here, and it would display them all together. On the second page, it gives me some options. It can give me if it's going to go to thumbnails, if it's going to, what it's going to attach to, random order, columns, things like that. I can hit insert gallery. And so in this case, it made just like a squared version of each image, and it would have, I chose 3 columns even though we only had 2 pictures, so it has a sort of an empty space here, but that will make things more consistent in the way that they present on the site. So a couple things when you're, a couple options when you're trying to pull in images, and so you're thinking about the images that supplement and complement your content and align directly with it. So you're sourcing images that align and help tell the story visually and enhance your content, your writing, and then also thinking about where you want to put them and how you want them to display. So using those couple different tools to make those adjustments are important. When I click on any of them, I also do get some quick buttons. I could go back into edit, so that would allow me to edit the caption again, just where we were. But if I wanted a quick, like, oh, I want to left align it, I can do that as well. So I could, move that up there, see how it nicely wraps. Okay, so the other thing that we can do here is we can come in and we can grab a YouTube link. So, we will upload images directly to our WordPress site, but we can just grab YouTube links. And what's nice about WordPress is it has a lot of plugins, so it will be able to pull in different types of content from other places on the internet, and it should function just fine. So if I go to YouTube, I have a very important video, and so what I can do is I can click the share button down here, and when I do that, it will give me my copy option, something you maybe have never seen before. And if I maybe go forward ahead, ooh, hamburgers, look at that. Okay, share. It will give me this option which says start at minute 3:54 or whatever time you've selected. This can be extremely helpful when you're finding a very long video that is that there is a segment that's extremely important, and you don't have to do any additional editing. All you have to do is you have to go to the share link, or before you grab the URL, just put a check mark in, and it will start it precisely at that time. So I can hit copy here, go back to add, come down here, and all I have to do is paste in that video, and then when it's in here, it will play directly from the time that I am planning on it, to be sure that it's doing exactly what you think it's doing. So as we're editing here, up in the right hand corner, we have our save draft. It's saving automatically, but you can save, click the button at any point, it will do a save. But what you can also do is you can do a preview. It'll pop open a new tab, and it will show you exactly what it's going to look like. And so, this actually image is more aligned to the right than I thought it was going to be. So it sort of really does help illustrate, is this displaying the way that I had anticipated? It gives me the same thumbnail, but if I play it, you can see right here, it does have that it's going to start directly at minute 3:54. So that is doing what I was hoping for. So that's what is helpful with using the preview option. Of course, when you're completely finished, you can click publish. As I said before, your professor might choose to use categories. Often they do, and it will always default to do uncategorized from the jump, but it will have all the different categories. And so these are usually high-level topics within your course within this particular project, and it should be pretty obvious which ones you would be selecting. And then the tags are more freeform for you. So again, I copied text here about internships and career development, academic advising, like anything like that. So maybe I would use all of those terms: advising, internships, career development, because those are all topics related to what I'm writing about. But the overarching category might just be about employment in general. Like that might be the overarching topic, but within it, it's advising and internships, and so you would write those tags in. And what that allows you to do is it allows actually the viewer, the reader, to see if there are some sub-themes that are happening within your post, not just your own, but your classmates, and it allows them to sort of group organically. So using the tags allows you to do that. As you're typing those words in, you do want to make sure that you have you're using consistent naming. So if someone wrote in the word trees and you started, or you're typing in the word tree and you see that someone else has already posted the word trees, use that one instead, because that will lump them all together. And then lastly, down here we have featured image, and some themes use a featured image for each post. If your post, so at this point I have 2 pictures in it, one picture helps illustrate my post more than the other, so you really want to pick the one that is the main identifier. So a lot of the themes have a featured image that shows on the front page and a little blurb about your post. Other ones show the full post fully. So on this one in particular, if I do my preview again, what it did is it put that big picture as the top of my post. So you can also see it gives me I posted it, gives me my alias, says the date, so it shows no comments, has the title, which I just titled title, and if it was categorized, it would actually list the category up here as well. That's this particular theme, but each theme is a bit different. What I'll end with here is something extremely important at the very bottom, or possibly on one of the sidebars depending on the theme, but you should get a a log out and a login button. Because I'm logged in, it only gives me log out. But when you come back to WordPress and you need to log in, you should find a login button somewhere on one of the toolbars or sidebars or footers on the site. So that would allow me to come back in and do that, log in.